The first books I'm going to be talking about are companion novels in a trilogy, and it's called the Niebla trilogy. These books are written by Carlos Zafón. I love Carlos Zafón so much. He's the author of The Shadow of the Wind. The Prince of the Mist is a magnificent gothic horror book. It's set in the beach, in a time period we don't know, in a country that we don't know. The author doesn't mention it, so it's nice that you can make up your own mind where the story is set. We follow a family that moves into a new house, a haunted house. We all know that I love haunted houses so much. And in this house, they start experiencing paranormal activity. And also the house has a garden with statues, and the statues keep changing positions. Two of the kids in this family meet a boy, and this boy tells them a story about the people that used to live in the house, and also about a boat that had a very unfortunate accident, and the remaining of the boat is still under the sea. And they sometimes go swimming to see the remaining of the boat. And one time they find someone under there, but they don't know what it is. This book is set in the north of Spain, where the forest is very dense, where there's not a lot of sun, where it's raining and cold all the time. Everyone in the town keeps talking about a mythological creature that some people claim to have seen, but no one believes them. Amaya is our protagonist. She's a detective, and she has to come back to her town where she grew up, a little town with not a lot of population living there. She doesn't want to go back to that town because she has a lot of bad memories related to her mom. And trust me, if you read the 3 books, it's normal that she doesn't want to go back. When Amaya arrives to the Baztán Valley to start researching the murders and to see who might have done it, she starts uncovering a lot of secrets about the valley, about the town, about the people that live in the town, and maybe that her own sister might have done something to the poor girls that have been killed. Fairy Oak was one of the books that got me into reading when I was a kid. In Fairy Oak, we follow the lives of 2 twins that are also witches. Since their childhood, they could notice that even though they were twins, they were very different. One was more drawn to the light, and the other one was more drawn to darkness. And as they grow up and they start making their own mind, you can see that they start going different directions. This book has a lot of natural elements, and when you read this book, you can very easily visualize all the scents, all the descriptions of the surroundings, all the magical elements. I personally feel like it's such a magical book. This is a prequel to the Grisha-verse universe, to Shadow and Bone, to the Six of Crows. This book talks about Darkling and his teenage years and how he grew up. This book is dark and moody. The best way to describe this book is just getting lost in a dark forest while it's raining and it's cold, but at the same time you feel like the forest is welcoming you in some way. If you love the Grisha-verse universe and you haven't read this novella, I 100% would recommend it. Since it's a short book, you don't get overwhelmed with the information and the surrounding descriptions, and you really feel like you are there. Lastly, I obviously had to recommend a classic, and it's The Return of the Screw by Henry Miller. The Penguin Classic Spanish cover, it's so spooky that when I saw it at the store, I just had to read it in Spanish. I love horror classics. I think that they are classics for a reason. A classic has been around for so many years, well, for so many decades. That means something. The thing with The Return of the Screw is that you get kids acting and thinking like adults, and that, in my opinion, that's very spooky, because when I was a kid I didn't think like an adult. Imagine being a nanny and moving to a new house to take care of 2 kids, and you think that, you know, kids are usually innocent. Kids don't usually say things or act in a way that you would think that they have a secret agenda, that they want to do something to you and that they want to harm you. You just think that you are there to take care of the kids and play with them. Then you start seeing weird things. You start seeing that the kids are acting weird and that you may not know what the house actually is like. This book also has a Netflix series that is inspired by the story of this book. I watched the first episode. I got so scared that I couldn't continue watching it because I'm really bad watching horror series or films by myself. I need to watch them with someone else. But I do want to finish the show, hopefully this year. Obviously, you can read any of these books whenever you want to, but I do recommend reading them during spooky season, and you just get all the spooky vibe. I know I keep saying spooky a lot. I love this time of the year. It makes me happy. So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you very soon.